Guys, Casual QB here. Today I'm gonna be teaching you guys 6 more algs for my third episode of the COLL series, in which I cover the use COLLs. Essentially, you have this OLL case, and you have to permute and orient the corners at the same time using one of 6 algs, which may be applicable to your case if you have this two OLL. So let's get into it. And as you can see, I have my first case set up. And make sure you have the cross edge or edges already oriented to for this to actually work. Otherwise you may have like something like, let me just show you real quick, and you may have something like this. I will do this COL, and I just basically get that, which is kind of like CFCE. So this alg is pretty easy. Hold it from this angle and you form this alg. Or you could just do it or you could do U2 and form this one. So this alg is pretty easy to memorize. You hold from this angle, do a normal anti-soon into a lefty anti-soon, or you can do a U2 into a back anti-soon. That's it for this alg. Let's get to the second case. Now let's get rid of the hardest alg to memorize out of all these cases, and this is honestly one of the hardest to memorize in my opinion, in terms of the alg, not recognition, but recognition is actually pretty easy for this one. Instead of having these two matching and these two opposites, just like in the first case, we essentially have them like switching places instead. These two are opposites and these two are matching instead. We hold the unoriented corners at the back for like 3 to 4 cases maybe, and we form this alg. So breaking the alg down, we do R2 prime, DE prime, and then basically do RU, R prime to insert this corner here, and D to make this little block, and then R, U, R, U prime, R prime, and solve this pair with U prime, R. That is pretty easy, hopefully, and yeah, let's get to the third one. So the third alg for this video is basically like in the first case we had these two opposites, and in the second case we also had these two opposites. For the third case we have, just like the first case, opposites here, and the second case, just like in the second case, we had these two opposites. We basically have two pairs of opposites, one here and one here. Hold it from the same angle as the second case, and form this alg. So a quick breakdown of it: you do F, insert this pair like this into here, and instead of doing U prime like in a Y prime, we do U, insert this pair back inside here with RU R prime to make this 1x2x3 block, and then do a reverse Shrek move which goes like U or U prime R prime and then F prime. So that's for the third case, and let's get to the fourth one, which is also pretty easy to memorize and recognize. So for the fourth case, you have essentially these two matching and these two matching. Unlike the third case where we had these two and these two opposites, instead we have like two pairs of matching, essentially these two and these two being matching. I'll do moves so that you can like focus on these corners. You basically hold it from this angle like for the third and second cases, and the alg basically goes like this. So you do R prime into Y prime and then undo the R prime move with R. That's one way to think of it. Otherwise, the R prime, you can imagine it as a setup move, and then you can do Y prime and then undo the setup move R, just like how commutator D I insert D prime, I then insert this one, kind of like setup moves and commutators sort of. And that's, I think, in my fourth case. Let's get into the final two. For the final two, instead of looking at the back colors, we look at the side colors instead of the oriented corners. Otherwise, everything else remains the same. So for the right side, we see that this color and this one match. They're the same color essentially. That's what I mean. I can't really touch corners on this thing, so you're gonna have to see. Orange and orange match. Green and blue are opposite colors on the left side. You hold the matching side on the right side, and the opposite side on the left one. So you then perform this alg. So that's basically the standard OLL alg. You do R2 D, put this corner in here by doing R prime U2 R plus preserving this, and then D prime to make this block, and then inserting this F12 pair while finishing and like solving the cube, or at least solving the corners with R prime E2 R prime. So I'll get back to you when I'm done with the final case, which is also pretty similar to this case which I just showed you. So the final case of my UCOL video, instead of having right matching like before, we have the left side matching. It's kind of like the mirrored version, where instead of the left side being opposite, we have right opposite, left match, and you can form one of two algs. One I'll show you quickly, and the other one is for right-handed solvers. So if you're a left-handed solver, then you may watch this. Otherwise, you may skip to a timestamp that I'll mention right here. So let's get into it. So you basically do the lefty version like this. It's just the lefty version, so let me just set it up. I honestly use this alg, where you hold it from this angle and you perform this alg. So the U2 at the end was not necessary, that was just AUF, which stands for just U face. You basically do R2 D prime, just like in the second case. Instead of doing RU R prime like in the second case, we do R U2 R prime to bring this corner down, and then a D to make this block, and this block also, and then insert this F12 pair with R U2 R. That's it for my COLL video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed or found this helpful anyway. And if you did, hit the like button, or maybe even subscribe if you want. That would be great. And turn on the notification bell while you leave if you subscribed. And yeah, that's it. Peace.